All right, let's jump on into some standard here today, huh? Doing a bunch of standard today because we're going to be doing a bunch of historic later this week with the changes coming down the pipeline on Thursday. This is our second time through playing this green-red aggressive deck here featuring Mantle of the Wolf. Enchanted creature gets +4/+4, and when Mantle of the Wolf is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, create 2 green-green, create 2/2/2 green wolf creature tokens. Other than that, we're kind of just like hasty 2-drops, hasty 3-drops, some Embercleaves deck. This was the most reasonable Gruul list we had played to date. Last time we tried it. Excited to give it another go here. Let's take it out for a spin, shall we? This list is almost card for card, a list that had a 5-0 league result on Magic Online, because as always, it's 2020 and the best data source for getting Magic Arena decks is Magic the Gathering Online. Because we get no data out of this application, but we get data out of Moto. As someone who isn't super familiar, can someone in chat explain to me who Jamie Des Moines is and why lots of people seem off-put by that recommendation for Treasury? I understand why Michael Bloomberg would be a bad appointment to the money position, but can someone explain what the issue with Jamie Des Moines or Des Moines, however that pronounced is? Pronounced Diamond. CEO of JP Morgan Chase. For the love of God, there are a lot of primaries left in this country. Please vote for Bernie Sanders. Just please. Please. That's all I can really say is please. So, worth noting that Life's Bounty can target itself. So, with Life's Bounty here, if I stomped this, they would sack it and I'd lose my thing, which wouldn't be great. So I wanted to do this so I could play this turn. When are we gonna see the Bluebeard? I don't know. If Warren doesn't endorse Bernie, what has she ever stood for? Apparently, if Warren doesn't endorse Bernie, in my opinion, that is a sign that she stands for herself and not the progressive values that she put forth. If she can't put her pride aside and endorse the progressive candidate still in the race, it says a lot about her, in my opinion. Marceline, thanks for the 19 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm giving her a chance to do the right thing. If Warren endorses Bernie today, there's still time. If she does it after another chunk of votes had happened today, it's too late. Today is the last day. It's my personal line in the sand. Historic was awesome, and honestly, Modern was fun this morning. We had a good time popping off. I had a good time popping off. Tomorrow is your day to feel the burn. You'll love to hear it. You'll love to hear it. I think I just hit them here with these and then go Pelt Collector second Giant. We played Dredge in Modern this morning. It was a hoot. Sure. Yeah, the people and groups that were backing Warren because they believed in progressive values are going to move to Bernie, because Bernie is the remaining person in this race who represents progressive values. People who were supporting Warren because she was Warren and had empty platitudes about progressive values past that won't move to Bernie. Never not dead to cleave, right? Goes both ways. They're actually just dead to this 9-pointer too, but they're super dead to cleave. All right, so they have a bunch of cheap threats here, so I probably want to Lava Coils and Shocks. They actually have a ton of enchantment creatures too, right? So Cindervines sounds great. Collision Colossus doesn't seem particularly stellar. Mantle the Wolf, probably not going to be big enough to get my things bigger than theirs, so I'm going to trim that. Gallia probably has a hard time trimming. I guess Giant's not stellar in the face of their protection dork. Let's try this. Not really Psychonaut. They can assume we have Cleave regardless, so you don't really gain a lot of value by concealing that. What's going on, Telvik? I agree with that. I agree with Y-Sticks. I think the people who, in my opinion, one of the reasons why I liked Warren was because she was a Republican who then changed her views when she went out into the world and found information, and the information conflicted with her worldview, and then she adjusted her worldview based on the new information she was presented. That's something we should applaud people for, not demonize them for years later. That being said, again, if she doesn't now endorse Bernie Sanders, in my opinion, that would show she didn't really believe in the progressive values that she claimed to be championing. Based on all of the things she said about Biden and the people Biden has kicked around putting into positions of power around him, if she doesn't back Bernie Sanders, I don't really believe that she believed the things she talked about. Wombat Combat, thanks for 50 months. And again, I still have a small shred of optimism that she can do it. She can show us that she believed in her progressive values and they mean something to her, but she might not. Yes, talk is cheap and actions speak louder than words. I think I'm just supposed to jam questing beasts and try and run them down here. If they have a bunch of enchantments to power this up to a point where I can't kill it with these, I can get into trouble, but smacking them for 7 is super appealing here. Whereas, like, if I shock this Lifespan, I only use 1 mana this turn, and then I only attack for 2, which doesn't seem particularly great. Girl Smash. Girl Smash. Moving on up the ladder. This could be the deck that pulls us up to the loving Diamond 4 rank floor, chat. Diamond 4 rank floor. The loving embrace of the Diamond 4 rank floor. Smashy, smashy. Easy mulligan. I think I'm bottoming sword here. Is my stream title up to date? It is. It's not. Damn it, Twitch. My Twitch is apparently timed out. Well, my dashboard says it's updated, but it doesn't appear to actually be updating. So apparently I can't update my stream title. Apparently. Did it update now? Okay. I refreshed my dashboard and then clicked update. Praise the field of the dead indeed. I mean, ideally, I'd like to do it on my dashboard, so that way I can see at a glance that it's supposed to be updated. I mean, generally speaking, it works when you do it from the dashboard. I want to rock. Thanks for the quarter of your support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Dreadhorde Butcher's really good. Hey, Dibbles and Hybrid, thanks for keeping me around. I think I'm just playing Spellbreaker on defense. I think I'm just passing the turn here. If they attack with Butcher, I'm going to block with Robber. Am I about to get Embercleaved? I guess that would make sense, right? That's not a card I think about in their archetype. Gosh, Cleave on Dreadhorde Butcher is kind of absurd, huh? Wait, what? Yes. Deal. Well, that could have gone a lot worse. I'm so confused. This card on Dreadhorde Butcher is kind of absurd, huh? That's something I kind of want to do. Put Cleave on Dreadhorde Butcher. I'm kind of into that. Yeah, maybe it was a misclick. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, we could try Butcher in Titan. Yeah, every time it deals combat damage, you get a trigger. That's exactly correct. I think we're dead. I think it doesn't matter just because Cleave's that good. I mean, I already made changes to the deck today, Demonger. I've got Knight of the Ebon Legion. Maybe we play Knight and we play Dreadhorde Butcher, just be more aggressive overall. Could see that. We're dead, right? Yeah. Cindervines feels real bad here. Really, really wish that this was a Thrashing Brontodon instead. I mean, I do just keep Bonecrusher Giant in because I need my threats. Maybe that's the key to making black-red cat competitive. You just turn it into a combo deck like everything else in this format. Probably some solid deck building. I think I'm just doing this. Like Stomp on 2, Bird on 3, or Giant on 3. Yeah, Dryad could be okay. I'd assume we're gonna see Uro in the field decks. So like Uro's definitely going in Yarok field, probably at least 3 of them. Heck, it works with Yarok even. Hey, Fantasy N, thanks for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. They have a butcher here. Just another ovens. Not a big deal unless they have a cat as well. Yeah, no cat's not a big deal. I think I'm just going to play this and then scry. Okay, that's really funny. Or Dev, there's like McConnell turtles in it. That's great. The Jonah, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Of course it's good for a timeout. I got you. Bib, thank you for the very generous tier 3 resub. Add to your tabletop game collection / purchasing. Sounds good. My wife will be happy for the contribution. Yeah, I agree, Scooter. As we've talked about a lot on this stream, the inconsistency is the biggest disappointment in my opinion. I think I'm just supposed to do this and haste it and smash. I don't believe we have Unearth. I think one of my buddies does though. So they're going to double block, we'll trample for 1, and then they'll take 6 altogether this turn. Speaker of Chaos, thank you for the brand new Prime support. And there's a lot of great people you can ship that to every single month on Twitch. Thanks for shipping it my way this month, keeping me employed. So they're kind of dead on board, but also kind of not, because they have a food they can eat. This is actually a really good draw because it kills my Phoenix with triggers. Modern this morning was a total blast. Had a lot of fun. Lost Axiom, thanks for the 19 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So I'm actually not going to pump the Phoenix here because if I don't pump it after these trade, I get to escape the Phoenix back. IRL tag, I appreciate the 23 months. Welcome back. Finally qualified for my first PT after 11.5 years of playing. Congrats. Good luck and Godspeed there. No, I genuinely had fun playing Modern this morning. We didn't win a whole lot, but I enjoyed myself. I think taking a break from Modern and not hammering into it for as long as we did was a good change. I needed that disconnection. We played Dredge, which I like Dredge as a deck. From the mechanical perspective. Thanks for the 14 months, Little McNugget. So again, for those of you that like Magic's deeper formats, I'm taking Modern, Legacy, Vintage, Pauper, Pioneer. Everything's on the table for Magic Online. Moving forward again. Yeah, I think we will continue to enjoy Modern on this channel so long as it's not every day. I think even Pioneer is fine when we play the right selection of decks. One of my goals of increasing the price of those formats is we'll get a little bit higher quality things. And if we don't keep the queue full at the higher price, I will put my own decks that I want to play in. The latter in general tends to just be popular deck speaker, or tends to just be popular deck bib. And Croaky's is one of, if not the largest Magic streamer at the moment. So the things that he plays tend to be popular, yes. Excuse me? CC, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Have you ever played Vintage? Yeah, we played Vintage a couple of times. As always, you can find all of my past streams on my YouTube channel. You search back. We've dove into it a couple of times. Vintage might be a tough one. I think if someone submits a Vintage deck, we'll definitely play the first one, but subject to queue times, Vintage might not be something we take regularly, because Vintage does sometimes have really long queue times. We're just dead here, right? I guess I can play this as a 3-3 and like hope to go wide here, but I feel like this game slipped away at this point. Yeah, I agree, Cody. That's been my experience too. I think the good draws out of the red-black sack deck are really good, but I think it tends to be kind of inconsistent compared to other things that are going on in the format. I don't understand what you mean by challenge only, Scooter. I really liked the black-white deck we played last week. Looking for a burn spell. I think the fact that they didn't gain life with their food this turn was a pretty big mistake. Unfortunately, we're unable to punish them for it, so it is what it is. Yeah, I think I'm going to try Black-White Sack again this week, Percy. We're going to play Red-Black Titan today. I think tomorrow will probably be Red-Black Titan again in Black-White Sack. And then Friday, we're going to play whichever of those two decks I'm more likely to play on the Saturday tournament, because Saturday's the MCQ event. So Saturday, I have to pick a standard deck for Saturday. And like, I'm not like try-harding it. I'm not really super competitive these days. So we're just gonna pick between which two of those decks that I like the most to play. And the cat's gonna lock this up here for them. I think our opponent was a little bit sloppy and gave us an opportunity to peel a burn spell, but we missed, so they got it. Attacking with the Satyr draws 2 cards. It does not. I'm gonna give you 10 minutes to go ahead and read that card. Digital Dead, thanks for the 2 months, welcome back. I feel like Red-Black Sack being good against Temur Clover is something that's true when you keep Mayhem Devil in play and really not true when you don't. And I think that's part of that archetype's issues overall, is that the Red-Black Sack deck is great when you keep Devil out and then kind of underwhelming when you don't. This is a phenomenal draw. Gonna get to curve out 3-3 into 4-4 into make an 8-8. Agree with that sentiment, Percy. If they attack here, I'm going to block. I think I'm fine trading this for Scorch Spitter plus a Shock or a 2+2 pump. Of course, Arcane. If I'm being honest, Scooter, my weekend time is valuable enough that, like, committing to an all-day moto challenge with a $30 entry fee, I would probably need a couple $100 to have that be something I'm willing to carve out time for. That's really, really bad expected value for me personally. Can you donate to switch the next deck that I will play? Yes. To add a new deck that's not already in the queue to be the next deck we play is a $100 donation. To bump a different deck that's already in the queue to the next deck is a $50 donation. To get your deck of choice played tomorrow on stream is much less than either of those prices. And in general, I try not to change things up when I've already laid out a plan. But, of course, there's also a dollar amount that can always persuade me. As in general, switching decks midstream leads to some downtime, so we have charge for that. Yeah, this game we're currently playing is kind of a textbook example of, like, just good Magic hands that tend to be okay against normal red aggro, but bad against cleave. Life is swell, troll. Outside of a potentially brewing world pandemic, global pandemic, we're doing pretty well here. Yeah, but Cheaper, I don't always, God, Twitch names. I don't always acknowledge shilling bumps in chat, but there's a log for them afterwards. So I cross-reference it at the end of every stream. Yeah, Percy, just put that request in your donation comment. Who's got 2 thumbs and is dead to Embercleave? Always this guy. Okay, just a Rimrock Knight. That could have gone worse. Plot twist, just a Rimrock Knight. I really like the way you structure and present your content. This and Not Leonin and Not Leonin Arbiter is the main reason I keep coming back. It's hard to not support a streamer who takes this seriously. Thanks, Five Color. Yeah, I've always said that, like, you know, I'm very fortunate to be able to do this as a job, so Least I can do is do people the respect of treating it like a job. Feels magic, man. Nice, Austin. I think I took third in my group. This is definitely a shock Redcap Melee Lava Coil matchup. I definitely want my removal spells. This is not a Phoenix of the Ash matchup. I think it's not a Mantle of the Wolf matchup. Actually, Robber's probably bad, huh? Sounds good, Percy. I'll get that updated after I'm done streaming today. I think we're just supposed to pull up here. Let's try this. Bigger creatures and more removal spells, huh? Maybe I'm supposed to bring in Vines. I don't know. Let's try Vines over Phoenix and see how that feels. Reveal, thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate sending your Prime back this way. Redfire, thanks for the 11 months. Given that most of us watch at work, we don't take our jobs. Listen, when I worked as a systems analyst, I wrote a lot of Magic articles while I was on the clock. It was funny. I remember when I gave my 2 weeks notice because I was quitting to be a stay-at-home dad when my oldest was born. They were like, gosh, Jeff, we don't know how we're going to get by without you. And I just thought to myself, well, I only work for 2 hours a day. So you'll probably figure it out. I think I have enough removal spells that I'm going to bottom that and hope to find a couple more threats here. Yeah, the added context to the Kyle Knot, thanks for the 28 months. Morning troll. The added context to the I only worked for 2 hours a day when I was there was that the workload I was doing at that point had previously been 2 other people's workload. So the work I was doing in 2 hours, 2 other people used to do as full-time jobs. So I didn't feel too bad about the situation. Nuggety, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Hope you're having a wonderful one wherever you're at. They each worked 1 hour a day, obviously. Something like that. I did automate a lot of their jobs. The work I did was managing a lot of data in spreadsheets, and I automated a lot of their manual processes. Which, if you've never worked in VBA before, it's miserable. Dark Rider, thanks to 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Hey, look, Chad, it's Bernie Sanders. It felt good, Marty. Can I make that joke? I feel like I'm allowed to make that joke. Is VBA some sort of DMV affiliate? Something like that. Man, they capped my Bonecrusher Giant. I think I'm holding on to my shock for now. I don't know how I like the optics of you shocking, Bernie. I apologize. Definitely Merfolk, Percy. Toss these points towards any kind of death deck, definitely. 10 out of 10 can do that. Alright, look at that. Didn't get combo killed, won the game. I agree, Punker. Merfolk was actually really sweet last time we played it in Pioneer. So I'm excited to see what it does in Historic with another Lord. Merfolk in Historic. Thanks for the biddies, Percy. Get that added in. This is a great Gruul hand. It's not very good against a combo finish though. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Show the red deck to the door. I would not be surprised if it wasn't long before Brawl became just a Historic thing. Oh, we do have new daily deals. I haven't checked yet. Good call. Yaku! No Pioneer updates feels magic, man. My decision to start playing Modern and Legacy again and pricing them the same as Pioneer feels smart and thin. Thanks for the tier 2, Yaku. I appreciate the year and a half. Let me know if there's anything in the queue you'd like to see a bit sooner. Yikes. Yeah, that's true. That's true too. You could just have both. There's no reason one can't exist without the other. Will do, Yaku. If they attack with Runaway Steamkin, I'm gonna snap off the trade. Feels mono red, man. I think there's a good chance this deck is just bad mono red. This deck feels similar to mono red with like worse combo potential. Torbrain and Cleave are pretty big payoffs. Just casual 7-ball. Doesn't really do anything, right? I guess it kills Rimrock Knight, I guess. I think Pioneer will start to dip in turnout numbers. Who knows? I think the whole global pandemic thing is gonna probably dip tournament numbers more than anything, huh? We're super dead. Oh, they're only attacking with that? Maybe there's a ship. Maybe. Maybe. Happy Banniversary. Was hoping for Thassa's Oracles, but beggars can't be choosers. Hey, Scholar, did you hear I said I'm taking Modern and Legacy submissions again? For the same price as Pioneer? So if you have some crazy things in the older formats, I'm open to those again as the first deck of the day. Thanks for the entire year of support and all you've contributed here over that year. You've been absurd. I'm dead, right? They attack with everything. I take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I am dead to attack with all here. Gosh, they found the button, chat. It should be okay if there's one thing Magic tournaments are known for, it's good hygiene, right? Right? We're gonna play Doom Foretold again at some point with that card, almost assuredly. Yeah, daily deals. I feel like the daily deals have finally accomplished. I feel like daily deals have finally accomplished what they've tried to do with a couple different things, which is sinking gold. I think Wizards of the Coast throwing out inverter win rates is a bad argument because we don't have all of the information, and while data doesn't lie, people lie with data all the time. And based on Wizards of the Coast history with how they handle data, I'm inclined to not believe them when they share small tidbits of data. I also think I just don't really care. Like, I've come to terms with the fact that all Magic Online formats are going to be what they're going to be, and we'll either love them or leave them. I'm enjoying Historic and Standard right now, so like, if Pioneer... Like, we've been having fun in Pioneer and Modern anyways, so like, we'll play a little bit of it, but it just won't be the primary focus of the stream ever again. Unless they supremely mess something up. They're not going to be the focus of the stream again and moving forward. I'm super excited to play with Field of the Dead and Historic. I think that's a wonderful addition back to the format. That addition back to the format also gives me hope that maybe they're going to manage Historic a little bit differently than these other formats because it's digital. Yeah, unless they somehow manage to foobar both Historic and Standard simultaneously, two Moto decks per day is going to be the ceiling of what we're going to play in terms of Magic Online on this channel moving forward. Or sorry, one Moto deck a day. I say two? I meant one. Hey, thanks for keeping me around, Boo Shoes. I'll be here for as long as folks like you will have me. If you already got wild cards for those cards being banned in Standard, you do not get wild cards again. However, if you crafted them after they were banned in Standard and they're now banned in Historic, you get wild cards. So you'll never get two wild cards for the same card, is the way their system works, which is reasonable. I think I like this board plan. We played a Wizard Tribal deck in Historic. We've not, but there is a blue-red one in the deck cube. A couple people have been asking about a lot of the blank deck lists in the Historic queue on the website. If there's a blank deck list, that means someone has submitted it as a build-around for me personally. Which means it'll get filled in before we play it. I'm probably going to sit down and build most of the build-arounds that are waiting for Historic Wednesday night. So I'm doing a shorter stream on Wednesday, so we can do a longer stream on Thursday. I agree, Bob. Yeah, that too. I actually didn't talk about that at all, but we mentioned that before. The fact that Historic is now being included in regular updates means that it's closer to being a real format, which is also something I want. That's actually pretty okay for us. We take a hit for 2, but I get to shock this and play a tapped land this turn, curving out really cleanly. Or we get to stomp this and play an untapped land now. Hey, Rook. Glad you're enjoying yourself and using the website. Well, they just cleared some lands off the top of our deck. God bless. We're spamming highlights, something like that. Third robber's the charm. How's this list doing? It's been okay. I think there's a real chance that this deck is probably just worse than straight mono red. He says as he gets Redcap Melee. Yeah, I'm just supposed to play Bonecrusher there, probably.
Anyone need a fire started? No? Find your fires of passion within.
Yeah, we're pretty dead here. Hand's not great. I think I'm gonna click submit. I think I'm happy with how I boarded. Do I want robbers of my own when I'm on the play? Would I rather be more aggressive when I'm on the play? I don't know, I feel like even when I'm on the play in this matchup, I need to be more controlling. I've got like 12 removal spells here, so I think I'm happy with how I boarded. Think I'm keeping that. My tap lands are a little bit awkward here, but otherwise fine. So, I don't know why my thing keeps doing that. Should check my settings. Yeah, would I rather play the tapped land or hold up stomp this turn? I think it's the tapped land. I don't know. It's tough because, like, by doing the tapped lands here, if they robber of the Rich Me, I lose my scry as well, which is unfortunate. I mean, Paper Magic is often about who can cheat harder. She meant more that flag is cheating. All right, fair. Yeah, no 2-drop here is good for us. Wonderful to see them. They didn't stomp our face either. Okay. Just gonna go ahead and kill this now. I guess they could have a stomp and stomp their own thing in response to end my Bonecrusher Giant, but like that's not a particularly mana efficient use of their turn, and it means they're not adding to the board, which would be good for us. All right, so I was gonna Questing Beast here, but with Pelt Collector drawn, I think I'd much rather Pelt Collector plus this. Get this going. There's a bug with Journey to Eternity that causes crashes at the moment. That's awkward. I don't think we have any Journey decks in the queue right now, but it's good to know. Yeah, it kind of makes sense in a way, Niv, because they don't want to change Historic twice, basically. They don't want to, like, change it today or tomorrow and then change it again on Thursday with new cards. I actually think that delay is kind of okay. Just threat here, I think. Just race them. I think we do this and then play a 4-4 and then crack them for 4. Yeah, opponent's definitely like in a more controlling role this game. I feel like we win the interactive games in this matchup just because our average card quality tends to be a little bit higher than theirs, and they need to be the one to punk us out. Feel like they've maybe assumed a bad role here. Yep. So if they attack, they're dead to cleave. If they don't attack and they block, they're probably dead anyways because my thing will be huge and they'll lose their thing. So like they didn't attack. I mean, like when you don't attack there, you're obligated to block, right? I mean, I guess they just assume they can't beat cleave anyways because cleave is cleave, but it's really weird for them to. Oh, I had the blocker, right? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Oh, Embercleave. Man, it's honestly impressive that, like, they made a card that's, like, more deterministic than Temur Battle Rage. Easy mulligan here. I think I do this and then hope to scry into a 2-drop here. I mean, it's not even just Temur Battle Rage, right? Like, it works on smaller creatures too, and it makes the smaller creature bigger. Like, it's so much better than Battle Rage in a lot of situations. I get that it's sometimes more expensive mana-wise, but often it's not when it really matters. And it does so much more that it's not even a big deal when it is more expensive. Yeah, I mean, Pelt Collector's a fine draw here. And if they're Ritualist at deck. Yeah, exactly. Aggro, like, the way it becomes cheaper is, like, what aggro wants to be doing anyways. Which is a big deal. It's not like you have a deck building restriction to make it cheaper. So I assume they're going to eat Pelt Collector here. If we draw an untapped land here, we get to kill Vraska without stopping. Rats. Need to kill Vraska here, otherwise she can gain life and eventually kill something else, which isn't great for us. Is Embercleave the best card in Eldraine besides Oko? Quite possibly. Interesting that they elected to eat the Spellbreaker instead of the Phoenix. So if they can only kill Questing Beast here and we draw a land, they die to Embercleave. I guess they don't have a blocker. They're also dead to Spellbreaker. Spell Stutter Tyke, thank you for the quarter viewer. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Not Once Upon a Time. I don't know that Once Upon a Time is like a busted card so much as that like it's just like deeply offensive from a design perspective. So I'm gonna board Mantra the Wolf out against a removal heavy deck. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and play this as the lethal spell. So that, because both of these are pretty likely to be lethal. So I'd rather play the card that I'm sideboarding out so they have to think about this card that I'm cutting during their gameplay decisions coming up. So if I was not boarding this out, I would kill them with Spellbreaker, but because I'm cutting it, I want to give them information that's not going to be relevant, basically. That could cause them to play in a way that's inoptimal to play around Mantle in the future. Spank Weasel, thanks for 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Shifting Ceratops sounds great here. I think Collision Colossus probably isn't particularly good. Maybe we board in a Cindervines or two. Just like sit there and ping them. That's probably fine. They paused trading today temporarily because the market took a nosedive so quickly. That's normal though, right? Like it's not uncommon for them to pause when the market jumps off a cliff. Like not that the market diving off a cliff is normal, but pausing it when they do. It's an automated system response. Okay, yeah. Looking for another green source here. So I let on Gallia here, so this way if I draw a green source, I can play 2 Pelt Collectors next turn, potentially. I think I'd rather Phoenix of the Ash and smack them for 4 here. If Gallia lives, we might just be discarding these eventually. Wall Street trading. Apparently the market dropped like 1,800 points at open this morning. It does not, Unode. So if they kill the thing you're targeting with Mantle in response to the Mantle goes from the stack to the graveyard, and you don't get any value. Which is why I cut Mantle in this matchup, because my opponent's deck is likely to have a lot of removal spells that can kill my thing in response to me targeting it. Yes, Biden is awful. Please vote for Bernie Sanders. To say I will vote for Biden if he gets the nomination because he's better than Trump is just like, it's such a stupidly low bar. Please vote for Bernie Sanders and don't make me vote for Biden in the general. Yeah, Illinois doesn't have their voting until next week, but I think Christy and I are going to go do early voting this week, so that way we can avoid piles of people at the polls. Biden is better than Trump. It's important to understand that, like, while Biden's climate agreement is, like, still pretty garbage, it's, like, better than a non-existent climate agreement, right? That it is effectively Biden's platform at this point, not Trump. To be fair, it's a strong platform. You're not wrong. It is a strong platform for a lot of people. Aeonius, thank you for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. I appreciate that. Their colors don't have a sweeper outside of Ritualist, right? So playing this isn't really overextending. I don't really want to discard either of these cards, though, so I think I'm going to decline here. Actually, nah, I'm going to do it. I think losing Embercleave here is fine. Because if they kill if I keep my creatures, I don't need Cleave. Yeah, this is fine. I would encourage people in chat that are spreading conspiracy theories to never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by incompetence. So, be the change you want to see in the world. By the way, for folks that have been playing Raid in the subs Discord, or if you're not in the subs Discord, you've been playing, and you're someone that might be interested in playing an RPG game on mobile, Raid was happy with my last sponsored stream, and they've asked me to do another one, so we're going to do that at the end of tomorrow's stream, I think. So if you want an easy way to support my content, downloading and installing Raid using my link's a good way to do that for the next week. If you haven't played Raid before, it's like a mix of, I would describe it as like a mix of like Diablo 2 meets traditional Pokemon TCG. Or Pokemon video game. Reminds me of that, playing those as a kid. Yeah, Raid is on mobile and PC. And if you click the link from my command, it will give you the installer on whatever platform you're on. So if you're on desktop, it'll give you a desktop link. If you're on mobile, it'll give you a mobile link to your app store. I believe so, Nanich. Link is just for people installing. If you give it a try and enjoy it, though, there's a bunch of us that chat about it in the subs Discord. I think we have 4 or 5 different Hoaglandia-related clans. There's different things you can do. There's a couple of monsters you can kill as a group each day. I think I'm bottoming that. I think my average draw is much better than a Pelt Collector here. Would really like a haste creature, so that way I can trigger Gallia next turn, potentially. We've got an Oven and a Bonecrusher here now. I think I go ahead and attack with these, and then when they block one, I go ahead and Colossus over. Really? Okay. So now I'll play Oven, and then I'll play a 4/3. Have you tried using Warden in Raid? Yeah, actually I have Warden 6-starred. I haven't dumped any skill books into him yet, but he's very reasonable. One of the things I want to try and build in that game is a defense arena team, and he's going to be a part of it. If you stomp their Bonecrusher, who gets the second half. So the way this works with something like Robber of the Rich is if you cast the adventure half, you get the creature part, but you can't use mana of any color to cast the creature part. Click the 3 dots in the corner speaker and hit open in your browser. Twitch on mobile has a security feature that doesn't let it open URL shortened links. That's the same like when I use Bitly links and stuff like that. Twitch Android in-app web browsing doesn't let you use URL shorteners as a feature. The extra robber is really good here. It gives us another threat, and we get to Embercleave something. They do have the Goose, the Fabled Passage, and the food here. Is the game heavy pay to progress? You can do either. They let you pay to skip parts of the game, but if you pay to skip everything, it doesn't really make sense because then you're not playing the game. Cold Heart is very good. Hogwild. Cold Heart's better than most Void Epics. Hey, Christopher Donis, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. So the problem here is if I cleave or pump this one, they just shoot it with this, shoot it with this. So I'm going to cleave here, but we're going to put the cleave, on the Bonecrusher Giant. Marisil, thank you for the entire year support. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Started as a random click on YouTube and it's turned into a year of enjoyment. Hopefully many more to come. Thanks for keeping me around. So they need to have extra damage in their hand here or like a Murderous Rider in order to kill this. Okay, so they're gonna go ahead and sack this, kill this one. And then if they do that, they die to this though, right? Right? They take 5, 7. All right, so Mantle seems good here. It doesn't, I guess outside of Spellbreaker or Questing Beast, Mantle kind of sucks because it doesn't give trample. Actually, I guess Collision's good to keep for that reason, huh? It sucks if they kill my thing in response, but punching over seems good. Redcap Melee and Lava Coil both seem good here. I think it's fine to cut Bonecrusher Giant because Oven makes it difficult to get extra value out of this effect. I'm gonna slide in 1 Ceratops because it's a hasty threat that can trample. Maybe I want shock. I don't know. Robber and what's her caller? And Gallia are pretty medium on the draw. Let's try this. This is fine. Not amazing, but fine. Hey, thanks for the biddies, Percy. I'll get those all added at the end today, as always. Is it crazy to just shock the Goose on one? I think I'd rather leave them a turn with it. I'm going to play this tapped, and we can go Pelt Collector shock next turn, potentially. I think Vines is too narrow. I don't know. Morning, silly cheese. Almost afternoon. Stomping my Pelt Collector. Rude. Punish for my sequencing here pretty heavily, huh? I wasn't sure if I was shocking right away or waiting till their turn. Probably should have waited till their turn. Or I should have shocked at the very least. I should have shocked before I Pelt Collected there. Okay, I think I just take this opportunity to kill their cat. Get that exiled and out of the way. Just gonna play this and not attack here. Next turn, we should hopefully be able to attack, draw a card, and then cast something with it. This gives them a window to kill this before we get to draw a card with it, but I think it's important to use my mana last turn. Trail of Crumbs is really good for them here, because it gives them a food to sack to bring back Cat with. Oh, I think I'm supposed to kill Mayhem Devil. I think I'm supposed to kill Mayhem Devil, right? Because, like, while exiling the cat's appealing, killing the Mayhem Devil means... Killing the Mayhem Devil means that this could potentially draw another card next turn, which is great. Rats. Feels dead, man. Feels dead, man. Wow, I'm really surprised they let us draw 2 cards here. Robber of the rich, for when getting unlucky on just your deck isn't enough. For when you need the ability to be unlucky with their deck as well. Oh, that's just some good clean living right there. Needs a second red, but if it finds a second red, it's really good, right? Yeah, hand sucks keep, super applicable here. All right, I have to ask because I haven't gone back to listen to it yet. Or I'm gonna need to go back to listen to it. I often mute myself when I'm typing, but I don't always do it. How bad is the sound from the new keyboard? I feel like it's a similar level of clackety to my old one because I type quickly regardless. Is it bad? Is the noise bad? It's pretty similar. That's right. If I'm typing out a whole sentence, I'll just toggle my mute like I always do. Okay, good to know. Glad for the small points when I like don't hit it. It's like about the same. Sounds like you're trying to murder invisible ants. It sounds like the joyous clack of mechanical wonderness. I think you might be biased, Bob. Alright, so I think we just do this and smack them. Obviously, they're going to make a food and bring the cat back, but I think I still attack in here because otherwise they can eat the food later or use it for something useful down the line. My brain filters that noise out. Trample's pretty busted, chat. Would I rather play this as a 3-3 this turn? I think that's just the play. They did shock in the land here, right? So I expect we'll see another Noxious Grasp out of them. Oh, I get to do this too, right? Yeah, this is totally the play. Just 2-2 and then get in there. Grr, arg. Constructed staple Zhur-Taa Goblin here. I would appreciate it in general if we didn't use cancer as a derogatory descriptive word here. Please and thank you. Always a command, Alex. Always a command. Silence UK, something that's good to know about the battle pass and stuff is you don't have to click on the energy refills right away. So you can hold on to them until you need the extra energy for something. Scale of 1 to dead, what are we working with here? Of course, Toe Smasher. Bump up, the wump up, the collector. Do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do. Well, so if you get under your unlimited, you recover, you earn energy at like 1 per 3 minutes or something like that. So it's like technically efficient to get underneath it, but like when you first start playing, you have infinite energy. Pretty close to it. I think it took me close to a month to like get my energy under the maximum. Hey, One, thanks for the 9 months. I appreciate the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Is Golos Field already in the queue? There is not a Golos Field of the deck in the queue yet. We have a Yarok Field deck, but not Golos. So the question on a hand like this is: rate a game you need to pay attention, or is it an actually play, or is it a click and then sit and watch? It's a mix of the two. So there's parts of the game that are grinding, that are where it's like definitely an idle game for part of it, but there's also other parts where you're actively engaging. With this hand, the question is twofold. It's one, how likely am I to find untapped lands? And two, if I find untapped lands, how good is the payoff for doing so? And I feel like the overall power level of this hand, even if I hit the untapped land on 2, is kind of low enough that I'd rather just play catch and release here. Because like, it's not just do I hit, it's what is my payoff if I do hit? And I think the payoff isn't quite there. It's like not amazing, but fine at 6. Hopefully this finds us a 1 or 2 drop for the second turn. Sick. Now this hand's great. To the person that messaged me asking why they were timed out for that question, I literally spent the 2 minutes before you typed that question explaining the answer to it. Midway Monster, thanks for the 13 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Fat Butters, I think I missed that 3rd of a year. Happy Monday, folks. All right, let's see how this matchup goes. Feel like it could be hard. Lovestruck Beast's a tough nut to crack. Although Collision Colossus is a good way to cut through that. I'm in need of flowery language. Ashiok sleeves are sweet. Something's probably done. Actually, if I expect Collision Colossus here, do I just attack? Or Stomp? I think I'm expecting Stomp, right? So I'm going to let this resolve. Oh, it doesn't matter, right? Because they're forced to retarget it? Yeah, I'm dumb. That's fine. So they lose their giant. That's kind of okay for us. When is this final decision of which candidate is going to be elected for the Democrats? When someone concedes or when someone crosses 1991 delegates. We could also have what's called a brokered convention, but brokered convention probably means that Biden's the nomination, so we'll see. Not for a while. The last primaries aren't until like May. Main deck Aether Gust. Feels magic, man. At max July. Doom Screech is pretty good. I used him up until I pulled a Seeker. What's the plan here? Is it crazy to just like put Mantle of the Wolf on Gallia and then try and kill them next turn? I feel like that's not crazy, huh? Can you define broker convention? Broker convention means that Broker convention means that no one running in the primary gets a 51% of the delegates, which is 1991 delegates, I believe is the number. And then they basically wheel and deal at the convention. Google it. There's a lot to it. I would recommend looking it up. Soon, Fearburger. Thanks for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And we're dead. I think we've died. I don't know that we beat a 8-8 or a 9-9 with lifelink. Oh gosh, they even have Mystic Repeal gets rid of this without giving me wolves. Super dead. I don't know. There's a chance that there's nothing wrong with Biden and that the people managing his campaign are just incompetent and not getting him out to an appropriate number of campaign events. But there's also a chance there's something really wrong there, and who knows? They could easily dispel any notion that there's something wrong by simply getting him out on TV interviews and stuff. And they're not doing that, which feels like a pretty big mistake, in my opinion. But I'm not a political strategist, so who knows? Could be a mix of the two. Sniff Power, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Mantle, again, I think comes out here because my opponent's pretty likely to have interaction with this in response, and then I don't get any value out of it. Some Collision Colossus are probably fine here. Definitely want the shock, so that way I can kill their Innkeepers consistently. That scene sounds great. 1, 2. Super happy. Super happy, Jaden. Now, I'm not only happy with the Field Unban because I want to play with Field of the Dead, but I'm also happy with the Field Unban because it's likely indicative that they're going to manage Historic a little bit differently than they've managed other Magic formats recently. Get to just take their Scry here, which is great. This is probably just dead, right? So I'm gonna play this out. I think I'm actually topping that. I most like Joe Biden when he was doing the rounds of late night shows a few years ago, joking around and just being genuine. I haven't seen any of that this election cycle. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, looking at him, what he presented like even somewhat recently and today is like feels troubling to me. Okay. Hopefully, we're able to just, like, have enough pressure here, especially with this shock to close this game out. I suppose if they have a Borrower or a Bonecrusher here, which is likely, they get to interact with 2 of my creatures this turn, which wouldn't be great. Especially if they're actually killing 2 of them with a Stomp. Alright, just looks like Brazen Borrower. Could also just be a 1/4. The 1/4 is super good for us here. It means I get to draw another card with Robber of the Rich. I'll potentially draw a first card, not another. We actually haven't drawn anything yet. Hey yo, I say hey yo. Borrower, command, you are dead. Do 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 do. Beep 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 do 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 do. Is it crazy to board in Shifting Ceratops here because it doesn't get Brazen Borrower? I feel like it's not. Do I want this card here? I feel like it might even be better than Questing Beast. This also attacks through what's it called? Lovestruck. Let's try this. They don't play any Planeswalkers. Questing Beast is just here as a 4/4 haste, first strike, death touch, all that jazz. Nice. Seems good. No, what's it called from them on 1 feels good for us. Pelty boy. That is a perfect draw. Sure, but like, copied Stomp also kills Questing Beast, so like it's kind of a moot point. Sure, this isn't really a Chandra matchup though, Peel. I don't really think that's relevant. Alright, so we're dead. We're gonna double stomp these things and then we die. Good one. Thank you for the 13 months. Welcome back. Whoa, they don't have it. That's so incredibly good for us. Why does everything I love in life go to die, chat? It's all just so sad. It's all just so sad. Engineer, thank you for the very generous tier 2 resub. Aether Gusty, I'm gonna decline that. They're gonna go land Beanstalk Giant here, which is unfortunate. Alright, they had to shock for that. If they don't have a Shadow Spear, we have a shot here. If they do have Shadow Spear, the game's over. So if they have Fae of Wishes here to go fetch their lifelink equipment. I don't know, Nepal. Is like Jamie Dimon and Michael Bloomberg in like money positions in the administration. Like, yeah, it just feels like every time I say still better than Trump, the taste gets worse in my mouth. Let's just vote for Bernie and make Bernie the nomination, so we don't have to think about that. But like, it's just gross. It's just gross. Whole thing leaves a bad taste in my mouth. At any rate, green-red aggro, I don't know, this deck seems fine. I think my formal takeaway is that I'd rather just be playing mono red. Like, it's a little bit different. This probably classifies as like hipster aggro for the format. I think having Torbrand and having 4 cleaves that you cast consistently is probably better than what this deck is doing overall. Just like having more oomph combo potential in this format seems pretty important. How good is Mantle the Wolf? It was like passable. It's fine. The fact that you usually have windows game 1 where you can like stick it without worrying about them killing your thing, and the fact that like gives value after it leaves play is reasonable. So like you get 2/2s even if your thing gets bounced after it attaches. You obviously don't get 2/2s if they kill or bounce your thing in response, which sucks, but overall it's fine. Excellent. Thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hoaglandia. All right, we're going to roll on to another standard deck here now. I'm going to do a quick ad roll while I get the client restarted and everything set up. When I get back, we are going to kick the tires on another iteration of Black-Red Titan here in Standard. Going to be trying out some copies of Knight of the Ebon Legion this turn. Yeah, Spellbreaker is a fine card. All right, back in a few. Oh, we did not peep the daily deals yet. We should do that. We should do that. Oh, we did. We did look at them, actually. Yeah, because we saw the Nicol Bolas one, right? We totally did. Yeah, totes did. Hey, Croc. Thanks for 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Oh no, chat. The yogurt I left in my fridge expired on the 5th. That's sad. If it was only a day, I'd probably still eat it, but 4 days is probably pushing it. Let's not get sick from eating bad food. Chuck, thanks for the very generous tier 2 resub. Let's get you started to go with that shield. Hashtag feel the burn. It is sealed. It's an individual yogurt thing. You can't hurt the Gert. Yeah, I mean, expiration dates to a degree are them pushing you to buy more product. Sealed, I prefer draft yogurt. Hey, thanks for the 7 months, Flame Burst. I appreciate that. Welcome back.